Gosh, yesterday was just something else. I woke up, in that day after the day after way that you do when you have to get a lot of business done, and I had a long list of things to do. Stuff like bills and taxes and errands and repairs. And I got up all determined to do all that. And then all of a sudden I realized this was going to be a very different kind of day. Because, first of all, I got a phone call from a friend who had a little bug, and she said, "Oh, Tammy, could you please just bring me some ginger ale?" And then I suddenly realized, of course, that it was a family birthday and that we needed to spend a little time with the family for the family birthday, and I needed to organize a few presents and some surprises and a little lunchtime at the local diner. And then, of course, there was this big, beautiful, gorgeous papaya that just had to get delivered across town to a friend of mine who was in hospice, and she was going to share it with her very loving caretaker who's her lover. And I just thought, well, I got to do all these things. And so suddenly I just threw that list right out of the window, and I decided that this was a day when I was going to have to just make some time and take some care. So I've decided that for the third way of Christmas, Tammy wants you to 3 French hens, make some time and take care. Now, what I mean by that is that you don't have to give up your whole day, because maybe you can. I understand that, and just go about doing some, good things for your good friends and your family. Maybe you don't even have a little part of the day to run an errand for somebody or make a phone call to somebody that might feel lonely. Of course, those are great things to do, and do them if you can. But I think what I mean is to make a little time in each day where you can take a little care. And what Tammy means by that is just kind of go about your business for a particular period of time during that day in an attitude of care. Okay, now I don't know if y'all heard that, but my phone rang right in the middle of me talking to y'all about taking some time to take some care. And what that was a phone call, and I've gotten 6 or maybe even 7 already today from these people who are pretending to be somebody from Apple, and they're wanting to tell me that my Apple ID has gotten compromised, etc., etc. Now listen, y'all, that is spam and it's a scam. So I'm going to take some care right now, and I'm going to tell y'all, please, whatever you do, if you get one of these phone calls from somebody that's pretending to be Apple, just hang up on them, or tell them you're going to call the police, or just talk to them and waste their time. I don't know, anything creative you want to do. And that might be one way of taking care today, of taking care of yourself, is not letting yourself get fooled by some of these spammers and scammers. Because I called Apple and I told them this was happening, and what Apple said to me is that, well, you know what, Tammy, we will never ever call you unless you make an appointment with us to call you. So that's something to keep in mind. If you get a phone call from some of these businesses saying, this is happening, or you're at risk, or your, information is being compromised, do not pay attention. Please do not just hang up on them. Don't let yourself get scammed by these folks. But let's get back to the real business of today, which is making time and taking care. Now, my good friend Lois does this thing that I just love. She calls it a care cafe. And what she does is that she gets a room, and she gets some little tables and chairs, and she invites some people to come in, and they all sit around these tables and chairs, and she puts some things on the table for people to do to keep their hands busy. Like she does a little cutting and pasting, or coloring in, or writing letters, or making postcards. And while people are doing that, they just chat. And sometimes they chat about things they care about. Sometimes they chat about things that they need care for, or they don't even have to be talking about care. She says they just sit under the roof of care. They sit in an atmosphere or an environment of care. So that's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest that you take a little time every day if you can, and just walk or talk or move or act in this attitude of care. Now, maybe it might prompt you to do a caring act, or it might prompt you to think in a certain way, but mainly just say, you know what, for this particular walk or this particular journey or this particular task I have to do, I'm going to do it with care. And it's just like, putting on a sweater of care or walking under an umbrella of care or carrying a bundle of care. Just do what you do, take a little time, and no, not take a little time, make a little time and take a little care. So, for today, Tammy wants you to... So, on the third day of Christmas, Tammy wants you to make time and take care, drink lots of water, and enjoy what's left of this sweet old world. See you tomorrow for day 4.